what's going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk about covered calls, managing covered calls, and I just want to drop a whole bunch of golden nuggets around covered calls as a strategy and how to manage the strategy. So I don't have like a script or a plan or anything like that. This is going to be a very unique video, so I may go a little bit off topic into some stories around covered calls, such as a financial advisor that I used to work with. So I really hope that you appreciate some of the stories that I tell you. If you're looking for like a covered call tutorial or more covered call videos, I have a lot that I get to the point, but this video is going to go into other topics and details around covered calls as I basically see fit that I think will be interesting for some of you guys that maybe already are using this strategy to understand and just to have fun with as well. So yeah, covered calls for me, when I first learned about them, I was really excited because I knew that I'm like, wow, finally I could put my stocks to work, which was very interesting to me. No longer did I have to like just wait for stocks to go up and down. To me, it felt like having a stock to go up means that I have to basically hope for that to happen. Will it happen? Will it not? I don't really know, and nobody knows, right? The stock market is really random. And when you think about using a covered call, it's nice because it produces income. You sell a covered call, you generate income right away. And that's why I do have a lot of covered calls in my portfolio. And it's definitely one of my favorite strategies to use. So I've kind of become, really a master at rolling covered calls, managing covered calls. And really simply, I think even if you're a beginner, just selling calls on all your positions is a good way to generate income. Now, the caveat is you have to be okay selling the stock at the strike price of your covered call. And it doesn't always go well. So, like, let me show you things that work out and things that don't right now. I have a position on Amazon, and you can say, put in quotations here, it's not really working out. And the reason why I guess it's not working out is because Amazon's at 232. I have a 200 covered call, but I didn't really sell it at a bad price. I sold it at a pretty good price, and you can see I'm down 8K, but I'm up 91K on Amazon. So if you do covered calls properly, yeah, sometimes you're going to leave some money on the table, and that's just part of the game of covered calls. But on a net positive, covered calls bring in income and they make money long term. So I think a lot of people, especially if you're looking to retire, like myself, I've been traveling and you guys see me in hotels all the time and I live in Europe. It's because I speak Russian personally and I like Eastern Europe. The people are very beautiful, the food's really good. And yeah, to me, it's really fun growing up in America, being born in America to my parents that came and that same year had basically my mom was pregnant when she came to America. Uh, it's really interesting for me to be in other countries, and I think that's what option trading allows you to do. Is a lot of people continue to build their portfolio and kind of chase a goal. I need X amount before I can retire. Well, that goalpost keeps going like further and further, and it's because you can't really live off of assets. Okay, I think that's really important. You can't live off of assets. I'm going to say that again. You can live off of income, right? If you want to pick a destination, whatever destination that is, I have many clients that are out in Portugal. So many people are out in Dubai. Some of my Indian clients decide that they want to move back to India because if you could make $10,000, $12,000 a month with covered calls, for example, you're going to be living like a king in Hyderabad or Delhi or really anywhere pretty much in India. You're going to live like a king. So in pretty much every country except for Dubai, Tokyo, London, Moscow, and some of those other really high cost of living places, you can't really live on 12K a month like a king. But in most other countries, you can. So I think that's what covered calls really allows you to do, and that's why like this video is so important. Is you don't really need all these like crazy strategies. Yes, leaps are really good, for example, but covered calls is the best like retirement strategy. If you're looking to retire, you can really do so on a reasonable sum of money, like 500K. Of course, 500K will make you like, if you're doing covered calls, you make like, it depends how much risk you want to take. Like for me, let's see how much I sold this Amazon for actually. Amazon, we can actually look at my history here on Amazon. I've done a little bit of rolling. Well, you can see here I rolled a short call. Um, it looks like $29,000. I bought this and I sold this. So I actually ended up paying 29K, but really moving up a lot. And here's actually an interesting strategy that I used. Again, I don't have the most structure in this video, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit confusing. Let me just explain what a roll is first of all, and then we'll talk about this position right in front of you. A roll is essentially this: when you sell a covered call, you may not want to let go of the stock. So I did not want to let go personally of Amazon at 175. So what I did was I ended up purchasing, excuse me, I closed that out. I ended up purchasing Amazon 175. I did pay a lot for it, and then I sold 200. So I moved up. I moved up by $25, and I paid 20 bucks to do that. So I paid $20 to make 25, which means that basically, if we multiply both by four, it's like I paid $80 to make 100, which means I can turn 80 into 100, which is what, like 20%, 20.22, 23% or so. So I basically made over 20% in a month. And the month is coming from, I went from August to September. So in a 1 month roll, yes, I paid money, but I basically essentially paid 80 cents to make a dollar. So I made like a 20% return on my money, and I rolled up a lot. Like I rolled up a lot. So this is kind of an example of kind of like a late stage covered call that ended up going like, very deep in the money. This is some water here. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. For me, I try to hit the gym, as you guys see, as I'm in my 30s, trying to stay in shape. When you have money, it's all about really family, relationships, love. Try to stay, in good shape. Longevity is very important for both men and women, right? So, yeah, I don't drink or anything like that. But yeah, look, I think this strategy of covered calls, if it goes into the money, you just simply roll up, and I think rolling up. By the way, I have a free course on rolling. You can check out the free course. You just write "Invest with Henry" rolling course, and you'll see it on YouTube. It's like a 50-minute course with lots of examples, and it's really important for you to learn that. Here's actually, like, I promise you golden nuggets. Here's like what you need to know as an option trader. You need to know how to do covered calls. You need to know how to do sell puts. You need to know the wheel strategy. You need to know how to roll. And that's like these four. I mean, you need to know what a leap option is. That's five. That's when it comes to option trading, which you need to know. And when it comes to stocks, like, of course, you need to know like when to pick a stock, like technicals and fundamentals. Um, all stuff that I teach within my Discord community. I made free videos on that as well. But of course, like if you're serious about investing, if you actually like want to retire, you want to take this stuff seriously, it's invaluable to have a coach. I've had a lot of coaches in my life. I've had coaches around health, wealth, trading, how to be a coach, how to make YouTube videos, how to make thumbnails on these videos. Like these thumbnails are super important. What fitness, like eating, nutrition, all kinds of stuff. Like having a coach, like in my opinion, like I don't mean to be like how do I say it? Basically, I think people that don't pay for help and don't do coaching are like either like dumb or like they're just making bad decisions. Like for me, and I get it because I'm from a poor parent. My parents are like poor. They were poor. Like now they've done a little bit better over time. Being 30 years in America, it's like hard not to do well, I think. But yeah, like being poor and everything. Whatever. I'm off topic. So let's continue on here with the other positions. So Chipotle is another interesting position. Yeah, I told you this video is not going to have any structure. Like I don't not most people, by the way, are making cookie cutter videos. Like their videos are like kind of like the same stuff regurgitated. I'm trying to be unique here and give you guys new information and new helpful tips that'll actually like change the game for you for covered calls. I already have plenty of covered call videos, so just wanted to make this like a fun video where we like just like yeah talk and have a good time. Not algorithm friendly, right? I'm not trying to chase the algorithm in this video or anything like that. Just want you guys to have a good understanding of what stocks I'm trading, one of them being Chipotle. I got $41,000 in Chipotle. It's about 1% position of my portfolio, and I have a 47.5 call. So let me explain to you kind of what's going on here. Yeah, Chipotle's at 41. This covered call's at 47. So yeah, I mean the covered call has made 96%. So of course it's gonna like expire out of the money. There's very, very little chance that it's not gonna expire out of the money. So yeah, I don't really have much to do here, but when you've already made so much percentage like return, what you can do is close out the trade for a profit. So tomorrow is a Monday. I'm gonna have a coaching call, and on my coaching call, I'm gonna just tell everyone, hey, we've hedged our position. We've made money on Chipotle's covered call. What we're gonna do is we're gonna close out this covered call and sell out a further out covered call. So this one expires in September. I can just go 30 to 90 days. Now, a lot of people say, well, what's better? Is it 30? Is it 90? Expiration date doesn't really matter that much because you still get paid proportionally, right? Like you make $10,000 in 30 days or $30,000 in 90 days. And you're not going to really see that much variation when it comes to options. A lot of options are already like priced in, right? If there was like some huge exploit, then yeah, everyone would exploit that, right? So I was, I have some hedge fund friends and trader friends and quant friends. A quant is like a quantitative analyst would be someone who is extremely talented at analytics and numbers, and they do like analysis, financial modeling, hedging, risk management for hedge funds, right? Or any money manager, for example. And when it comes to some of my buddies I talk to, they pretty much all agree that markets are pretty efficient for the most part, right? Markets are pretty efficient. So when you're looking to like make a ton of money with options, knowing the strategies is really important, but the time frame doesn't really matter. The time frame is hard to predict since, the stock market is pretty random. I think what's like universally true and what I like personally have made money on is that high quality stocks are easy to make money with, and there's a lot of strategies that can make money on them as long as you do the stock selection process properly. So I talked about stock selection in my 6 hour course. Like you can type invest with Henry 6 hour course. I had a lot there on stock selection, right? And I think stock selection is like the first step to even doing a proper covered call, because if the stock is right, then your covered call is going to work out. It's just going to be very easy to make money overall. And when it comes to like markets being efficient, what I mean by that is that like a lot of people are doing research on the stock market. So like watching a ton of videos isn't really going to help, or like trying to predict what the Fed's going to do, what earnings are going to be doesn't really matter a lot. See, like when I was studying finance, I was really excited, and my education was very expensive. Like the cost of education for me, I think was like 300K plus, which by the way, I didn't like fully have to pay for because I had really good grades and I was from like a poor family. So I did get some type of scholarship. So I did have financial aid. So it's good to be like smart and broke in America in some ways. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that, for like programs like that. Because like, can you imagine? Like, I didn't have money to go to college. If I didn't go to college, like, I wouldn't have like been the best option coach and taught like thousands of people. Like, I have so many testimonials of people I've helped, and had I not gone, like in my case, college was worth it because had I not gone to college, I would not have worked at Goldman Sachs. I would not have learned option trading because my first internship was option trading, and then that set me up for option trading for the rest of my life. I knew I wanted to do that, and I only learned that in college because, yeah, it was a really interesting story. Maybe I'll give that story another time. But anyways, let's go back to the topic of covered calls. I know I'm a little bit all over the place with this video, but I think everything that I say gives you like a perspective, or at least like mindset for trading covered calls better, just option trading in general. I think it's also helpful for me. The reason why I also tell you my story sometimes is because I want you guys to believe in yourself that you can do this. Like I started with very little amounts of money. I grew the portfolio here to 4 mil, and I grew it to like $1 million at like age 25. So like I did it at 25. Okay. And like it didn't really take me that much time. All right. And I didn't really have that high of an income. When I got to a millionaire, like my portfolio grew because I spent a lot of time in college growing it, and I put money away, but I didn't really make more money than a majority of you. Like I didn't. My pay at Goldman Sachs was 70 or 72 or 73. It was one of those. I think it was 70 $1,000 per year. So if you think about it, like it really wasn't that easy to put money away. My paycheck was, I believe, it was like $5,833 a month, and then like after taxes, I think it was like $4,167, something along those lines, which makes sense, right? Because like $1,600 of taxes per month was it's like a third of 5,800. So on $4,100, I lived like pretty tight, to be honest. For a while, I lived pretty tight, and my goal was to put money away into the portfolio and to grow it. And I did that by 25. So like literally, I know you guys, some of you guys have families, you have kids, but a lot of you also have a higher income than me. You don't really have an excuse. So your only excuse is you're lazy, you're not taking enough action, you don't have the knowledge. Probably, hopefully, you just don't have the knowledge or the experience. And if that's the case, you got me. You got my free YouTube videos, but even more so, I recommend that you take a shortcut and just, yeah, learn about my coaching. Yes, I'm a coach. I sell coaching, but it's well worth it. Believe me, it's well worth it. And I wish that, yeah, I wish I would have done more coaching myself. I've done a lot of coaching, but I wish I would have done more coaching on areas in my life. So, yeah, you don't have really an excuse. This stuff works. This stuff has been working for me. 4 mil is light. Like I have some crypto on the side too. So 4 mils like was achievable in a, well, it was like a decade, right? This was like a decade of work, but 1 mil was achievable in like several years. Of course, I made some mistakes along the way as well. Like it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows during 2020 COVID. Yeah, my portfolio fell by a lot. I lost the quarter mil, and I think I had like five. I had about 500K. COVID started. I lost 250, and I was at 250 because I lost, yeah, half. And that year, I still ended up with $700,000. So it tells you that if you're afraid of the market, yeah, just don't be afraid. It's like flying. Like I don't like flying, and I've been all over the place. I'll kind of go back. It's easier to go backwards for me than from the beginning. I've been to so many places, but if I go backwards, I was in Serbia, I was in Estonia, I was in Poland, I was in Moldova, I was, of course, Spain, Italy, France, Amsterdam, Sweden. Sweden was nice. I like Sweden. Of course, Swedish people are very, very, very beautiful. They're very good looking people to me. Where else was I? I was in Dubai for many times, a lot of Dubai. I have many clients in Dubai. Anyways, yeah, like you can do this. Like you got this. Don't be afraid of the market. Don't be afraid of trading. I also do again think that a lot of people that do it themselves, they end up like paying tuition to the market, which is like dumb. Like just get coaching, man. Get coaching. Just send me a message, the description, and we just help you out. This trading stuff, covered calls, selling puts, wheel, enrolling. Yeah, there's not that much to it, but mastering it is kind of difficult to master it. But I highly recommend that you focus on building these skills and building your portfolio. Covered calls should be the center of doing that, of your strategy. So hope this video was helpful. Hope that you have a blessed day, and I will catch you in the next one.